What's happening, DC Reacts? This is going to be something a little bit different. Ren's actually talking about Hi Ren on Twitch. So I'm very curious to see what he says about him, what he's explaining and stuff like that to the song. I want to hear, what are his thoughts on why he brought this out. So I guess it just helps me get to know him a bit better in a way, I think. So yeah, hope you don't mind. So we're gonna listen to what he says and then obviously give our views, or try to, or just agree with everything he says, and then just, yeah. So let's do that. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you are enjoying. Let's go.
So that part, if you kind of want to explain my sort of thought process behind that,
Yeah.
was that when I first got ill, I remember saying to my mum, and this is going to get a little bit heavy for a second, so bear with me and forgive me. But I remember saying to her, I was like, if I'm ill for another year, this is like right in the first year, I was like, I'm letting you know, I don't think I can do it. And I was like, I'm really sorry about it, I just can't. And then a year passed, and I was even more sick. And then another year passed, and I was even more sick, and I was even in more pain. And that progressed on for the next 8-9 years of my life, and it just got worse and worse. And it wasn't that it became any easier to deal with. It was because I eventually came to accept that I had to live in a body that was full of pain, and that made it a lot easier. Because the more I resisted, like the more that I fought against that fact, the more I was like bitter about it and angry about it, like the more I was like, why the fuck is it me? Why is it my body that hurts? Like why my friends get to go and live normal happy lives and go and get to experience all the things that someone in their early 20s gets to experience. I was really bitter about that at the start because I missed a lot of birthdays, I missed a lot of New Year's, just lying in bed. And
it's heavy. It is so heavy. I know that Jordan Peterson, his daughter, suffers from something very, very similar. And what she eventually found out was a cure for her. For her, she only eats lamb. No spices, no sauces, nothing. She takes her vitamins and she eats it's the only food she can consume is lamb. Anything else, and she's basically crippled for months. So she's on, I think, and her mother, that's all they eat is only lamb, and she's been eating that now. She's also she's late 20s now, and she's been doing it, I think she said something like 7 years already, 5 to 7 years or 5 to 8 years already. That's all she eats. She only eats, she says it's the worst thing ever. She misses fruit, she misses all the vegetables, but she said as soon as she touches it, like she started just one food source at a time. Like she took away carrots, she took away peas, she took away that. Eventually she ended up on lamb, and that was the only one where she was in no pain and could function. So I know in one video he said he has meat and a little bit of veg, and that he can basically get by. So hopefully he's on the right track. And he'll get sorted out in Canada.
And it wasn't until I learned to accept that. It was just the cards that I've been dealt. This isn't my. I don't speak about it publicly very much. Oh, give me a second.
It must be so hard.
It wasn't until I stopped resisting that fact that life became enjoyable. And I know that I'm crying right now, but I'm genuinely, for the most part, very happy, even though I still put up with a lot of symptoms. And I am. It might be hard to convince you right now, but I am. I'm very happy in life, and I feel very fulfilled, and I feel like I'm doing things that I would have dreamt of years ago. So, yeah, I think that's what sentiment I was trying to get across, basically. That it wasn't until I was just like, stop fighting against my demons and stop fighting against the pain and stop saying why me, that I got a lot better. And I just was like, well, you know what, like, could be a lot worse. And also as well, like, so what, like, let's make the most of these limitations that I've got, or let's use these limitations that I've got and turn it into something else, and try and alchemize it into something more productive. And that's why I feel very lucky to be in the creative industry, because I wouldn't be able to do that in an office job.
No.
So I feel very blessed, and I feel very blessed to have you guys supporting me as well, because without that I wouldn't be able to do that. And so yeah, I feel lucky, and you know, maybe it's for a purpose. I don't think I'd have ever made the music that I did if I hadn't lived these experiences. It would be very different. I think I'd still be making music, because before I got ill,
I think it does give him a very unique perspective into the thought process that he goes into for his music, which is completely different to everything else that's out there at the moment. Yeah?
Very different. I think I'd still be making music, because before I got ill, I was lined up to do some pretty cool things with like Sony, and I was on a good path. But I don't think my music, I don't think I'd have written a song like this. I obviously wouldn't have written a song like this. I wouldn't have written a song like Violet's Tale. I wouldn't have made that kind of music. So even though it doesn't sit in the sphere of like mainstream music, I'm very proud of it, because I think it even though it taps into like a darker side of the human psyche, I feel proud of myself for what I've achieved.
And you should be.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm gonna have to run off in a second, because my food's probably ready by now. But yeah, thanks for joining me on the chat and letting me kind of talk a bit more about what this song meant to me. I just wanted to go into the very last line, because I think that's my favorite line in the whole thing. It's what separates human beings from angels and from demons and from gods. And like, while I'm not, like I said this earlier, while I'm not necessarily like religious in the sense that I say I'm a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Muslim, I like humans' explanations for the divine a lot. I love the stories. And what I meant by we must remember that we are human beings is that we're not evil and we're not good. We're not either of those things. We are something that is a mismatch of everything. And we've got to embrace our own imperfections.
I can agree with that.
And we've got to remind ourselves that if we're hurting, it's just part of the human experience, and better days will come too, even in amongst that pain. And yeah, whereas when we look at a demon, we see evil, whereas we look at an angel, we see good. When we look at a god, we see powerful. We're all of those things, man. We're demons and angels and gods mixed into some imperfect creature that ended up on this floating rock in space. And yeah, that's why I like that line. Anyway, I'm gonna go and I'm going to go and have some food. And thank you guys very much for joining me on this stream today. I hope, because it's my first stream by myself, I hope that you were sufficiently entertained. Doing this builds my confidence to do more of these sorts of things in future. So thank you for sharing this time with me and letting me talk about this stream. It means a lot. I'm certainly gonna go and enjoy my food, and I'm enjoying my release day, man. Like I said before, guys, I'm doing it all independently. So if you guys have any ideas on how to share this as much as possible, bother everybody you can with it. It would really help me, because it just helps it get seen out in the public eye a little bit more.
Stevie Knight just done a reaction to this. I follow Stevie Knight. He is awesome. All we need now is Alex Hefner. Shout out Alex Hefner. People need to tag him in the comments and get him to watch. I'd love to hear his perspective on Ren. I know Stevie Knight, after watching Hi Ren, he's like, at the end of the video, he's like, I need to check up on we're going to do more. And the comments are all saying you need to do Jenny and Screech's Tail full. That must be the next song. So hopefully he brings that out soon. And we can, yeah, I'll be watching that.
And helps make this dream even more of reality, because then I got more resources to make even more ambitious projects. So that would mean a lot. Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you have a blessed night. I hope you all sleep really well, and I hope you enjoyed Hi Ren, and I cannot wait for you to see what's coming up next,
on the 19th.
Because it's cool. And the album name is Sick Boy that I'm releasing, and that's going to be dropping at some point very soon. I love you guys. See you later.
I love his room. His room is so, like, crazy. You see, that lets you learn more of a person. He's explained himself, you know, what he's going through. He's open about it. He's going through some major difficulties with what's going on with his body and stuff like that. And hopefully, now that he's going to Canada or is in Canada, this will get sorted out and he can get, you know, get put on either a diet that suits his body's needs and gets rid of all his pain and stuff like that, and it all goes well. Fingers crossed. You have support from here, 1000% from my channel, and definitely do wish you all the best, and all the luck, and yeah, I'll be seeing you soon. Peace.